This is Ebony Marinoff, and you're listening to the Crows Jet.
Bex with an opportunity about 50 metres out. Oh, yes! 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 The excitement machine, McLeod. Left foot goal, don't tell me. Super zone, tell me. Oh! Bounces straight up. Leaves the path of ball.
Hello, Project listeners. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Another massive interview, probably the biggest one we've had so far. She leads the league in most numbers, including disposals and pretty much anything you can think of. We've got the amazing Ebony Marinoff joining us today. Ebony, how are you, mate?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Excited to join for the first time.
Oh, mate, we're not as excited as we are, trust me. Now, you've had training today. I don't know if you've had a chance to check the socials, but your social team has completely thrown you under the bus. What happened? You had a bit of an accident at training.
Yeah, well, we had our main session last night, and we had to run backwards for about 50 metres, and then we got, to the far end, and then, our strength and conditioning coach says, come back. Off I did what I was told and started running backwards again, but I absolutely stacked it. It was pretty funny. Like, I literally just fell. It was the biggest thump. So, it was funny. Like, if you didn't see it, you would have heard it. Absolutely stitched me up with that, but pretty funny.
I mean, I need to know, are you okay? You good to play on the weekend? This isn't going to set you back anyways?
Nah, I'm totally fine. Got back up, had a giggle, and nothing there.
Good. All right. So we can laugh at it. That's good. So apart from that little slip up, you've had a fantastic start to the season. You've beaten two teams that most people would consider to be finals contenders. How's the mood amongst the playing group right now? I imagine it's pretty high.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's been a really good start to the season. I feel like we definitely haven't even hit our straps yet in terms of what we're capable of. But I guess just to be able to play some really good team footy, has been great. Obviously, we are striving for the ultimate success, which is a premiership. And I guess we worked on many things over the preseason, but I guess just the depth of the squad in the first two rounds, just everyone having an impact and not, relying on, one or two, three, four people to get the win. It's really, collective. So I think that's been the most pleasing thing that I've seen over the first couple of rounds. But like you said, the teams that we've played are probably going to be, in the final series. And there've been some great teams who we've played. I mean, I reckon North would be up there with the best midfield in the comp. And as a Brisbane, like, they're just so well grounded as a team. So two great wins, but it's very cliche. But like we've seen over the past couple of years, anything can happen, and really anyone in AFLW or AFL, you can beat any opponent on any given day.
I mean, but this is all coming off the back of a very interrupted preseason. You won't able to play trial games and things like that. What is it, do you think, about this group? Is it the coaching? Is there just an inner belief, or is it how you've come together over the last couple of years? Is it just something you can't put a name to, put a title to? Yeah,
I mean, we've been together for a very long time. A lot of us, I think we've got the most inaugural players left on the list, which is, I guess, just a testament to the girls and the loyalty for everyone kind of sticking around. I think we've been through a couple of expansions and we've only really, lost maybe one or so. So I think that comes back to culture. We speak about it so often, and I think as a club, we're renowned for our great culture, not only within our club, but outside. So I think it's just the belief. We've got great coaches. We've got a great list. I think just being able to grind away, like you said, we didn't have a trial game, and that kind of sucks in terms of being an athlete. You want to be able to have a hit out and whatnot. But I mean, that didn't affect us. We just made sure that we were very driven in the training we were doing and didn't let it affect us. And I think you'll hear most clubs just say, whoever deals with this COVID situation this year, given the fact that we're kind of potentially living it with it a bit more amongst states, and you're finding a lot more positive cases within footy clubs. So whoever, I guess, has the most depth and in the front of their mind of just getting things done, no matter what adversity they face, I reckon they're going to be the ones holding up the shiny cup at the end of the year.
I couldn't agree with you more. Now, you talk a lot about the culture of the group and the belief. You yourself last year it was pretty public that you were courted pretty heavily by St Kilda. And it's interesting that you talk about the expansion of the game, because there's going to be a new team starting up just down the road next season. There's going to be girls from all clubs that are going to have to face some pretty hard decisions coming up at the end of the season. Is there anything that you can speak to as to how you go about making that decision?
I think, like, given the fact that it's reality, I mean, this league is growing. We want it to grow as players, and we want it to grow across the country and across the world broadly. So I'm a big believer in, I guess, I don't really think that we should be adding another 4 teams. It's going to happen. I feel like we've probably definitely needed expansion along the way. But yeah, I mean, how good is it that, I guess, we're at this elite level that, people have opportunities, whether that's on field or off field, I guess, to open their wings, spread their wings. So I think it's just being really open-minded. But I think when making that decision, there's a lot to think about. I think, obviously just going through all the right processes and stuff. And I'm probably one that will say it's a big reality of where our game's going, because there is so much expansion year on year. So, I mean, like you said, you'll see girls who do go across to across the road down in Alberton, and that's just going to, I guess, help our game grow. But I think that's just a part of being an elite sporting environment and expanding a league that is so new.
Absolutely. I mean, you speak very positively and very professionally, but I dread the day of one of our players saying that they're going to play for the Wharfies down the road. But enough about that. Looking forward to the weekend. The mood must be high. Everyone's training with high intensity. You've had big wins against big opponents. You face West Coast in Melbourne, which is just bizarre on the surface. What have you been talking about during the week? What are the things that fans should look out for against West Coast?
Yeah, so I guess one thing, they'll be really disappointed giving away their lead. They played Gold Coast last weekend, and I think they gave away a couple of goal lead and let Gold Coast, I guess, run away with that game. It was a great win by Gold Coast, but we know as players, you're pretty driven when you have a loss like that. And I think that the fact that they're over in the hub, they would have had a lot of time to, I guess, look at what went wrong and really hone on those things that they potentially, might not have if they were back in the West. But West Coast are a really competitive side in terms of within their contest. So we're just, we've just been talking about that we need to be prepared. Every game's a contest, but this one's going to be a really big one. And again, we're traveling to Melbourne and we're actually flying in and out of game day. So we're flying out really quite early on Saturday, getting on a bus, going onto the tarmac, then flying into Melbourne, getting on another bus and going straight to Punt Road. And we'll probably have an hour and a half before the first bounce. So I guess just making sure that the girls are all aware of what's going on, but it's an uncontrollable and we just control what we can control, which is going over to Melbourne and getting the 4 points.
And that's the message that you take there when you talk about getting on and off buses and flying out early in the morning. Is that another chance for a bonding experience? The girls can get around each other a little bit and just sort of enjoy the experience?
Yeah, absolutely. It's our first fly in and fly out. So I'm sure it will be a long day, but we've got a couple of young girls who are in the team now, and I'm sure that they'll be, all very excited at 7 a.m. in the morning, but probably just like settling that until potentially after the game. I'm sure, different girls will want to, I guess, get in the zone differently, and they'll be getting in the zone on the aeroplane because they won't have too much long, when they get to the ground. But again, we're all very respectful of everyone's, wants and needs. So, like I said, very close-knit group. So, we just kind of do what we got to do. And, the biggest thing for us is winning games. And, like I said, literally just going over to West Coast prepared for a really tough contest and, going over there to get the 4 points.
Absolutely. Now, it's a big round, especially in the AFLW, this round in Pride round. What's the mood been like around the girls with the new jumpers coming out, and it's a big old celebration of inclusivity? Is that something that gets talked about much during the week?
I feel like we've been a big part of it from, a couple of years ago. We've got our Rainbow Crows. We were one of, the first teams to actually bring out the Pride Guernsey, which I think we wore, I think we wore a couple of times last year because we actually ended up playing away, which was Pride round. And yeah, we really wanted to come home and wear our Pride Guernsey in front of our Rainbow Crows. Very special to them. But I think we, as a league, have put a lot of, I guess, time and energy into, I guess, really making it a significant round. I think, yeah, Randall did a beautiful content piece with the AFL Women's, with our partner MJ. And I think that was like really special. And obviously with, with Erin Phillips' story from the piece with Tracy, her wife, back in 2017. So, I mean, we're always around pretty inspiring women that always, make sure that we're aware of how special it is. I mean, we don't need to be told that, we know that, but a very special round, and I can't wait to see all the Guernseys in the bright rainbow colours, and we'll be wearing that with great pride.
Absolutely. Now, earlier you mentioned some of the younger girls in the team coming through at the moment. Who's been impressing you? There's been a lot made about Ash Woodland. I'm not sure why. I think she's kicked a couple of goals in the last couple of games, but there's a few others that are really popping up and really contributing. Who's been catching your eye, either on the training track or on game day?
Yeah, and you talk about like contributing, and that's all what we need from our girls, is actually just playing their role, contributing on game day. And I reckon, Chelsea Bedell had a great summer, and she's played, both the last games and has just played her role. And, she's not only just played her role, but she's having a significant impact on the game as well, and not just filling a spot, showcasing her skills. So I've been really impressed with her. And Ash Woodland's obviously had a hot start to the season with her 8 goals, but I mean, for us, we've had a really tough summer, and for Ash to come out and play the way she has, we're not surprised. So she's been great. I think we'll see the rise of Tia Charlton and Shelley Martin throughout, the rest of the season. And there's so many others that I could name, but like I said before, it's been a very even contribution to our first 2 wins. And everyone's just playing their role and really contributing. But we haven't hit what we'd like yet. So it's just about getting better every training session, then every opportunity we get to play the game.
Well, geez, I hope you do keep improving, because if you build on the current form, you'll be unbeatable. Just before we let you go, mate, I'm not sure about the weather in Melbourne. I haven't had a look, but it was a hot one today. How are you handling the heat? How do you find playing footy in the middle of January?
Yeah, well, I think our first game against Lions in round 1, it hit about 36 degrees. So very, very warm. We actually haven't had a heap of hot weather prior to Christmas. So we're kind of just adjusting to these hot games that we're playing on. I love playing in heat, but it does get hot. Obviously, the game is significantly demanding. But we've got rain coming in Adelaide on Saturday, but we head over to Melbourne. It's 34 and sunny. Oh. So she'll be another hot one at 12:40 down at Punt Road on Saturday.
Oh, typical. That's your luck when you finally get to travel, and then you're avoiding the ideal footy weather and you're heading straight back into the heat. But, well, I mean, the way you've been talking, the way the girls seem to approach this season is that whatever challenge is going to pop up, you're going to embrace it. Yeah,
and exactly right. You just have to keep pounding that within the girls as well as staff. There's going to be so many times that something happens and it really is out of your control. So just do what you can. When you have a training session, do it at your best and at this intensity, and make sure that, every day that we have together as a group without, I guess, significant impacts, cherish them and really, make sure that you get something out of it.
Absolutely. Ebony Marinoff, we'll leave you there, mate. Thank you so much for joining us today on the project. We really appreciate it. Best of luck on the weekend. Hopefully your numbers keep improving, and hopefully the team manages to come back home with a great big W.
Well, that's the plan. Hopefully the 4 points in the W.
Ebony, thank you so much for joining us, mate.
Thank you.